In a warehouse, several large material stacks were placed side by side. The area seemed stable, but one stack suddenly lost balance and collapsed, triggering a chain reaction that damaged nearby piles and equipment. This incident reminds us of the importance of safe stacking and regular inspections. Loads must be placed on solid, level surfaces. Weight must be evenly distributed, and overstacking should be avoided. Routine checks eliminate invisible risks, because a well-organized warehouse doesn't just improve efficiency, it protects lives. At a busy work site, a forklift operator was unloading a heavy load onto a truck. Suddenly, the load shifted, and a nearby worker instinctively tried to steady it by hand, but the material was far too heavy. This incident shows how trying to stop heavy loads by hand can be extremely dangerous. Forklifts and cranes exist for a reason. Human strength cannot replace proper equipment. Workers should always keep a safe distance and never interfere before the load is fully secured. Safety isn't instinct. It's discipline in action. A truck loaded with gas cylinders was reversing toward the factory entrance. Some workers had climbed near the load to help guide it. As the vehicle approached the wall, 2 workers managed to move away in time, but one faced a brief risk of being pinned. This incident reminds us of the dangers of standing on loads or being elevated near moving vehicles. Workers should never stand on loads during transport and must keep a safe distance when vehicles are moving. Gas cylinders and similar materials can shift. Therefore, guiding should only be done by spotters standing safely on the ground. Remember, the safest position is always on the ground, away from the load. In a workshop, a truck tire was placed on a stand for inspection. Everything seemed normal until a worker approached to check the tire. Suddenly, the internal pressure released violently, causing the tire to burst with great force. The worker was caught off guard by the sudden impact. This incident highlights the hidden dangers of large tires. Overinflation, internal defects, or improper mounting can lead to dangerous explosions. Therefore, inflation cages, pressure gauges, and protective barriers must always be used. Workers should never stand directly in front of or over a tire until it is fully secured and checked. Every safe inspection begins with a safe distance. In a busy production facility, a worker tried to manually guide a large steel coil being lifted by a crane. When the coil lost its balance, it swung rapidly, and the worker, standing dangerously close, was struck. This incident reminds us that loads lifted by cranes should never be guided by hand. Always use a tag line while the load is moving, and keep a safe distance from the swing area. Even a small movement can create uncontrollable force. The safest method is remote guidance. In a textile factory, a worker tried to check whether the fabric on the production line was moving properly by running his hand over it. As the machine's speed increased, he repeated the same motion, and his hand moved dangerously close to the roller section. This incident shows how even small, habitual actions can lead to serious risks. Never touch or adjust roller machines by hand. Instead, use guiding rods or protective covers. Lockout-tagout procedures must always be followed, and workers should avoid distractions caused by routine habits. Remember, production speed may increase efficiency, but if safety is lost, everything stops. In a warehouse, foam rolls were neatly stacked. The environment appeared calm until a worker carelessly brought one of the rolls into contact with an open flame. The fire flared up instantly and spread quickly among the highly flammable rolls. This event highlights how critical fire safety is in storage areas. Materials such as foam, which ignite easily, must be kept away from heat or spark sources. Workers should never enter storage zones with open flames, and fire extinguishers and alarm systems must always be ready for use. In a maintenance workshop, a worker connected the hose to inflate a vehicle tire and began filling it. However, his head was positioned directly in line with the tire. As the pressure increased rapidly, the tire suddenly burst loose. This event highlights the importance of taking a safe position during tire inflation. Workers should never stand in front of or over the tire. Instead, they should remain to the side at a safe distance. Whenever possible, use a tire inflation cage and increase pressure gradually under control. In a building lobby, a couple was waiting for the elevator. Everything seemed normal, until a few seconds later, the large glass door behind them came loose from its hinge and fell forward. This incident is a reminder of how important regular maintenance and structural equipment inspections are in buildings. Over time, hinges, frames, and connection points can loosen, especially with large glass doors. Property owners should not neglect periodic maintenance and stability tests. When issues are detected, warning signs or temporary barriers must be placed immediately. At a manufacturing facility, 2 workers attempted to inspect a possible malfunction on a large machine. One of them entered the machine to take a closer look, but at that moment, the equipment unexpectedly started running. Fortunately, power was quickly cut off, bringing the situation under control. This incident highlights the vital importance of applying lockout-tagout systems during maintenance and inspection. Before performing any maintenance or inspection, power must be completely shut off and the system physically locked. No worker should enter the machine or hazardous areas until energy isolation is fully secured. In industry, safety procedures are not just rules. They are disciplines that protect human lives. In a steel plant, a worker was guiding a crane as it lowered large bundles of steel bars onto a truck. While the load was being positioned, he began unhooking the chains. But when the crane chain jammed, the bundle shifted, trapping the worker dangerously in between. This incident emphasizes the importance of proper timing and safe distance during unloading operations. Chains must not be released until the load is stable, and no one should stand in the pinch zone. The crane should only lift when all chains are completely free. Coordination and physical barriers are key to a safe shift. In a maintenance workshop, a worker touched a motor belt he thought had stopped. However, the system suddenly started, and as the belt began spinning rapidly, the worker lost his balance and was thrown backward. This incident reminds us that even machines that appear to be stopped can still hold residual energy. Machines should never be operated as a joke, test, or for recording purposes. Performing a safe shutdown takes far less time than dealing with an accident. Stay safe and subscribe for more workplace accident videos.